Stop guessing why your fuel economy just took a nosedive and listen to this. If you are smelling raw gas from your exhaust, seeing black smoke, or your engine feels sluggish, you might be dealing with a rich condition. Specifically, we are talking about trouble code P2198. This code means your oxygen sensor signal is biased or stuck rich. Let's break down exactly what that means in plain English without the mechanic jargon. Your car's computer, the PCM, is constantly trying to keep the mix of air and fuel at a perfect ratio of 14.7 to 1. It uses the oxygen sensors, or air-fuel ratio sensors on newer Toyotas and similar cars, to sniff the exhaust and see if it got the mix right. When you get this code, that sensor is screaming at the computer that there is way too much fuel in the exhaust, and the computer cannot lean it out enough to fix it. This code specifically points to Bank 2, Sensor 1. Bank 2 is the side of your engine that does not have cylinder number 1, and Sensor 1 means it is the upstream sensor, the one located before your catalytic converter. This is important because you do not want to replace the wrong part on the wrong side of the engine. Now, before you run out and buy a new sensor, hold on. While a bad sensor is a very common cause, it is not the only one. This code can be caused by a leaking fuel injector that is dripping gas into the cylinder when it shouldn't be. It could be excessively high fuel pressure or even an intake restriction. Paradoxically, even an exhaust leak or a vacuum leak can sometimes confuse the system, though those usually cause lean codes. To diagnose this properly, you need to look at your fuel trim data on a scan tool. If you see high negative fuel trim numbers, the computer is frantically trying to pull fuel away. Here's a pro tip if you do not have fancy tools but have a V6 or V8 engine. Swap the sensor from Bank 2 over to Bank 1, clear the code, and drive. If the code moves to P2196, which is the code for Bank 1, then you know for 100% certainty that the sensor itself is dead. If the code stays on Bank 2, you have an engine issue, like a leaky injector or a wiring problem on that side. If you do find that the sensor is the problem, do yourself a huge favor and only buy OEM brand sensors. I have seen so many people try to save money with cheap aftermarket sensors, and they end up failing or reading slow right out of the box, causing the exact same headache a week later. Stick to the original manufacturer parts for sensors, and you will save yourself a lot of frustration.